Hello
Hi.
everyone. Yeah, welcome back to, I guess this is now becoming a daily occurrence. Well, from my perspective, it's a daily occurrence. In any case,
Yeah.
yeah. How are you today, Alex? Yeah, how are you feeling? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. How about you? Um, anyway,
mm,
maybe
mm.
let's just what are we going to talk about today? Should
Well,
we continue on
yesterday,
socialism or you want it?
yeah, no, I mean, yesterday we touched upon talent, and because one of the key things
Mm.
I think that's important for a society is to capitalize. Uh, it had nothing to do with capitalism, but to capitalize on its talent, right? And a
Oh yeah. Yeah.
society that can't capitalize on its talent, that can't provide opportunities for the people, what will happen is there will be a brain drain. There will be people leaving, right? We see this in Venezuela, we see this in Argentina, we see this in China, even, right?
In
Mhm.
in every socialist country, we see that.
Right, right. You see that, and then they go towards America, which are seen as capitalist countries. So that's interesting. So talent, right? I mean, um, do you think talented people can succeed no matter the circumstances, or do they need the right circumstances to succeed? What's your opinion about that? Mm.
Let's clarify what you mean by talent. Do you mean like sort of artistic talent, musical talent, or you mean like a talent for any sort
Hon-
of job or
Honestly, any of those are, fine. Like it is essentially when you are exceptional in a particular field,
right?
right? Yeah,
So it's
mm.
about
Mm.
excellency
It's
rather
about
than sort of
excellency. It's about
artistic
excellency.
talent. Okay,
Right,
got
right.
it.
But it could be anything. But yes, yeah, you're exceptional in that field. You're the best, or not necessarily the best, but you're exceptional, right? Yeah, yeah. That's how I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's in the best interest of any country to use sort of, so to speak, the talent that they have as
Right,
to the greatest extent possible.
right,
Uh,
right.
and
And
yeah,
so,
like kind of yeah, to
mhm.
milk talented people,
Right.
to
I
milk them
mean,
dry,
exactly. Like,
so to
I mean,
speak.
let me give an interesting example, which I thought, in South Korea, they have, yeah, conscription, right, for 2 years, right? Where, it's basically that
I think they
everyone has,
do.
yeah, they still
Yeah,
do. Yeah, everyone has to go to military service for 2 years. Now, some years
because of the
ago,
neighbor.
right, yes. Uh, but some years ago, there was this K-pop band where one of the guys was old enough to go to military service, and then they were wondering about maybe they should change the law to. I mean, there was pressure from
Mm,
from the fans to change the law to stop the
right.
K-pop band from going there. And in the
Yeah, well,
end,
that reminds me of the Elvis situation that happened in America.
yeah, he didn't
The
go to
yeah,
Vietnam, or is that right, or what was
no,
his
he
situation?
didn't go to Vietnam, but he had to serve in West Germany. So he had to
Right,
go serve
right,
and then come
right.
back and become the king of music, whatever.
Yeah, right, right.
Yeah.
So now my point is that okay, interestingly with Elvis, he became the king of rock or something after his
Yeah.
service. Okay, so it didn't really stop him.
I mean, he was a very prominent star before he
Mm.
had to go to service.
Right,
So yeah,
right,
again, so
mm.
it made a lot of noise. It made the headlines
Mm.
basically.
Right, right,
Uh,
right, right. I see, I see. So
he was quite popular.
right,
And I
and
think the same thing is happening with that Korean guy, right? So he's already popular.
yeah, he was already very
Uh,
popular, exactly. And I don't know what's happened to the K-pop band now. It's not like I follow it, but the point is that
hmm.
I, in my mind, the soft power that South Korea has with this K-pop band, and then it just stamps it out because, well, there's conscription. And I was just
Hmm.
thinking, wouldn't the K-pop band better serve the country as a K-pop band? It doesn't have to serve the country with the
And it
with a
would.
gun. Yeah.
It would. I totally agree with you. But at the same time, they can find some kind of balance here. So they can sort of make him serve on paper and sort of take a few photographs of him with a gun and in the military uniform, and then sort of kind of, I don't know, let him go back and play music.
Right.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean, yeah, so it's about how to use your resources, really,
yeah.
in an
Because
effective way.
at the same
Mm.
time, it makes a very good example. Like even though you are a K-pop star, you still have to go and serve because
Right. Yeah.
like and
Yeah. You're not above the law. Yeah.
in the situation with South Korea and North Korea, I believe in South Korea, it's very important for people to commit to commit to the army service. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Like it's obligatory as far as I'm aware, right? For now, anyway, it's obligatory, right? Um, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Um,
But again,
but okay.
speaking about talent,
Mhm.
as you mentioned, so you brought up talent, and yeah, it is in the best interest of the country to find the best application for the talented people that they have to allow talented people, not to allow, to sort of create environment for them uh, to stay in the country and to contribute to the country. So
Right.
yeah, it is in the best
So
interest.
this is where the free education or access to education, it might not even have to be free, but at least
Mm.
like in the UK, as an example, although it's not free on a technical sense, it's free in a practical sense because if you are from a low income family, you can get government loans for the tuition fees, and the criteria to pay it back is very generous, right? So you have to earn
But
a
it's not
certain.
free. Even like
Technically,
that, it's
no,
not free, right?
it's not free,
What do you mean
but
technically?
so
You
what I
still
mean
have to
is
pay,
you have to get the government loan to pay the tuition fees to attend the university. That
right?
has to happen,
Do you have to
right?
pay back the loan?
You you do if you were earning a certain salary, right, above a certain
Oh,
threshold, right, and like this,
right.
and then the debt
Oh,
gets written off after 30 years. Now in the UK, there's an automatic system. So once you're earning that salary, the money would automatically get taken out from your salary. But if you're earning less than that, right,
so you are
you know,
motivated not to work after you get your degree or something like that. If
well,
you
I mean, well, in the sense that not that you're motivated not to work, but yeah. So
okay,
okay,
you are
uh,
motivated not to. You not to work, not to pay taxes. I mean, not to work so that the government sees that you're working. So you kind of have to work clandestinely,
yeah, yeah,
secretly, like.
yeah, clandestinely, yeah.
But
Um,
again, don't you think that it motivates people not to work?
um, I mean,
Because if I can not pay something back, I probably wouldn't, right? If I
well,
can, then I
I mean, the
will
sorts of
not.
people who would go to university in the first place, right? Okay, and then we're talking about low income people who come from low income backgrounds, right? Um,
Even more
I
so.
may, I mean, it's they're going to university to improve their lot in life, improve their situation in life.
Right.
So it doesn't
Right.
make sense for
Exactly.
them to be clandestine in their sort of work afterwards, right?
But
You know,
how much is the tuition fee?
the tuition fee in the UK is ridiculous. It's okay. So um, the total
So how much
fee.
do you have to pay back
So
after you
so so
graduate?
right. I mean, I was the final year where it was £3,000 per year, and so typically for a 3 year bachelor's, that's £9,000. Then the
Okay.
following year, yeah, the government reduces subsidization of the university fees, and now we have to pay 9,000 because the total is 15, right? But they
Okay.
subsidize, and so they reduced it, and now we pay 9,000 per year. So for a 3 year course, you're paying 27,000, right?
Oh, that's
Um,
a lot of money.
it's a lot of money, right?
If
And
if
yeah,
if one
mhm.
could have if I could avoid paying that money back, I would go very far trying
Yeah,
not to pay it back.
I mean, I haven't paid it back, right? Absolutely, and I don't think
Yeah.
I've even
All
made
right.
any contributions to it because I've never earned enough money to make contributions to it, right? So,
Uh, yeah, you
mm,
see, you are a
mm,
living example that
right,
the
right.
system is
Mm.
pretty
It's
it's
okay.
stupid.
Yeah, no, I actually agree with you there. Like the whole system is stupid, but the for me, the flaw is in the fact that there weren't many dynamic work opportunities afterwards. That for me was the bigger problem.
Right.
Right,
So
Mm.
not only is the system stupid, but the college sort of degree by itself is useless. Not
For
only
me,
do
I for me,
I
I felt
mean,
that way, and just for people to know, I have a master's in biological sciences or in biochemistry, so it's not like a soft science or a soft subject, but a hard
right,
science. Yeah,
and you couldn't find a job.
Well, there's various reasons, both my personal and external. Certainly, I didn't want to follow that biochemistry career. I think if I did, I would have found one. Yeah, so
Hmm.
I'm not saying it's impossible to find a job, but what I'm
Okay, so
saying
that
as well is that it's quite hard and also it's not like it's abundant in my opinion. Yeah.
because
So
I've been hearing a lot lately that college is a scam, like in general. Like not it's not like I mean, not every part of college is a scam, so to speak, but like in general, it is a scam because the degree that you have after you graduate will not help you in any way to find a job. Not, I'm not speaking about all degrees that you can have, but
right.
many, and I would say that a majority of degrees is quite useless, like because most of them are in like soft sciences,
Right,
like
right.
communications.
The problem today is that there's a disconnect between the university education and then this sort of economy, at large, right?
Yeah.
And the industries at large, right? That's, I think, the biggest problem. So
Yeah.
the yes,
Can we take a minute and sort of dive deep into it because I have this I'm trying to understand like you say like let's say communication degree. What does it mean? How
exactly,
can you learn communication for 4 years or for 3 years?
exactly,
Like
exactly.
you can learn it in a couple of months.
And you can learn it on your own, like on YouTube or something,
Yeah. Well, yeah, you
Hmm.
can learn it on your own. Like for one thing, for another thing, well, I believe there may be some pitfalls or something that you better know in advance before you start communicating with a lot of people, like some cultural things that you have to be aware of, right?
Right.
But those are just, I mean, you can learn them. I mean, like before you have to go to speak to a bunch of Indians, let's just say you go and make a research, like what you shouldn't talk about to Indian people. Of course, I mean, uh, yeah, you will still make mistakes, but again, it's just
But
there is
it's
nothing
that
to
that
learn.
work experience is what gives you the experience that people are actually looking for.
Exactly,
You, you know,
exactly.
you know.
And
Mm,
those mistakes are not like mistakes that engineer can make while engineering an aircraft, right? Those are not
mm.
irreversible mistakes. Like you can offend some people, but that's nothing that can sort of that isn't irreversible, right? It will not
Right,
just
right.
affect your life. So yeah, I mean, there is nothing to learn for 3 years. Communication degree. What else? Like, I mean, like social sciences. Oh my God. I mean, there are certain social sciences that are probably worth learning, but again, I don't think that it's really
It,
applicable.
it's an interesting. I mean, there are two what do you call it? Main sort of benefits, I think, of going to university. There's the legitimacy aspect, right? So you have a
Oh yeah,
credible
you have a
degree
degree,
from a credible, university, and there you go. So I think for
right?
programmers, right, uh, it's easier to get a job with a computer science degree as opposed to without. Not that it's impossible. You can. There are many programmers who don't, right? But then but then there's networking
Yeah.
as well. And for me, one of the biggest sort of regrets I have from my university time experience was not networking. I did absolutely no networking at all. But that was, I think, where 50% of the value was in my experience, in my time, the
Okay.
networking. Yeah, if I had made connections through my supervisors, maybe I could have gotten an internship, right? Or maybe gotten some foot in the door somewhere through my supervisors or through connections I had, you know, that would have been the best way to have utilized that time, you know? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So as you said, like biological science, right? It's not something
Right.
you can throw away, like like the
Mm,
soft sciences. So yeah, well, probably yeah. So for you, it was more like personal reasons why university didn't make sense for you. But
yeah. Mm,
again,
mm,
at the same time, I keep hearing that this a lot, that a lot of people can't really find application for their skills or whatever they get during the 4 years at the university. So they just have to go and work as a bartender or something. And
mhm.
yeah, that sounds like a scam, to be honest. It's
Right,
like,
right. Well, it's a
but
scam.
it's a soft scam. It's just a soft scam,
Yeah.
like it's really hard
Mm.
to find this like to pull a thread and to unravel all this. It's really hard to find that thread where it sort of comes
Well,
undone, you know.
yeah, I mean, the thing is, university as an institution is very, very old, and it goes back to the sort
Yeah,
of times of the Greeks and I don't even think the Greek. I think the Arabs, right, who were the ones who came up with universities. Like the University of Baghdad is probably one of the oldest universities. Maybe a Chinese person will contradict me here, but
yeah,
but the point is, yeah. So, but now with YouTube, with ChatGPT, with the internet.
yeah.
It's just the dynamics of information exchange
It's
has changed.
it's becoming
It,
obsolete.
yeah,
It's sort
that's
of
the point.
it can't catch
That's
up.
again not to. I do think it's important for a society to have ways of verifying and you know, for example, doctors and engineers, right? Actually having courses where they are verified and credible, and we know that they need a license essentially. So those professions that require a license, yeah, sure, we need
Yeah.
institutions to produce those licenses, but for the rest of it, we should learn by doing. I think,
Oh yeah.
so. Mm,
Exactly, because there are no irreversible mistakes on
mhm.
your sort of learning path. So
Right,
yeah, that's why you can just go and make all mistakes that you can,
right.
and yeah, become experienced, and yeah,
Exactly, exactly. But
sort of
then
like
we need, from the industry side, we need a sort of what you call it, an atmosphere of accepting people in a different way. Because the criteria by which industries accept people is, oh, do you have a university degree, college degree? Okay, tick box, right? Do you have
right.
a minimum of a grade C in maths? Tick box. It's like, but these things
Oh,
have no bearing on anything, right? So
my question to you, like, would you go to university if you had to pay 30,000 pounds? If you had to pay
no,
all the money,
no.
you
If I
wouldn't.
wanted
Of
to become
course,
a
you wouldn't.
doctor, yeah. If I wanted to become a doctor, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
But
but you wouldn't
otherwise,
go
no.
and study about biology, right?
No, I
Like you
wouldn't.
did,
No, no, I wouldn't bother. I wouldn't bother. Yeah.
right?
Unless I was pretty confident about the path that I was going to take, that I would study biology, go into research, study in work in a lab, or in a hospital, and continue that way. If I was pretty confident about that, then yeah. The fact is, though, the majority of 18-year-olds don't know what they want to do. They're told
Exactly.
what to do by their parents or whatever
Yeah,
their peers, but
absolutely.
they don't know what they want to do. So,
Yeah, it's the
mm,
environment that makes them go to university.
mm, 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 exactly. So um,
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, well, again, so my from my perspective, the better choice, a better choice would be for them to maybe to work for a couple of years before even thinking about going to a university or something like
I
that.
actually agree with that. I agree with that. Working, finding yourself a little bit, kind of figuring out
Yeah,
who you are, what you're interested in. Yeah, then yeah,
just to
then
sort of, to get the feel of it, to
exactly,
get to understand the money's worth and like so
exactly.
yeah, something like that.
I agree. I agree. I think yeah, yeah. So yeah,
But
yeah. Mm.
again, so from the talent perspective, like what's the best way for a country to, you know, to utilize the talent that they have?
You see,
And university seems like education seems like the best answer, but wouldn't the best answer be motivation?
motivation. Motivation means that there's something that they can reach, right? You know,
Yeah,
and then if there's nothing to reach because, well, there's no pot of
exactly.
gold at the end, well, then what's the point? You know, and I think this is the
Yeah,
problem. We we there's no pot of gold at the end anymore, right? Even in the developed countries, right? Um, at least maybe I'm being cynical,
because
but hmm, hmm.
they are becoming increasingly socialistic.
Okay, so that's your that's your argument.
No, but you
Okay,
have to understand my background. I'm coming from from the background where they tried to build socialism for like 90 years or something like 70 years, and
right.
they failed. They failed terribly.
You're right.
So,
Right.
and
So,
as I look at other countries, they try to do the same to some extent, and I can see that it's going nowhere because as I said in the previous conversation, I strongly believe that as soon as you switch to the socialistic model, your pie begins to shrink. That's the problem
right.
because
I
people
mean,
don't want to work anymore.
right. Yeah. That's it because this is interesting because you see poor countries do socialism because they're poor and the poor people feel like the rich people in the
Yeah,
country needs to take care of them.
because the poor
Mm,
people they are easily buying this idea that
right.
everybody's equal, everybody has like something like granted income or something, and like
Exactly.
they
Yeah.
yeah
And then in the rich countries, there's abundance, and so the idea is everyone should have a bit, right? Because there's already
yeah.
abundance, right? So there's different ideas going on in different kind of countries, but yeah,
But
yeah,
here's an
it's
interesting like
mhm.
piece of data. Like Russia only managed to reach the I mean the amount of grain that Russia produced. They produced the same amount of grain in 1999, the same amount as they produced in 1914. So after 1914, after the revolution, after 1917, the amount of grain that Russia produced dropped drastically, and they only managed to reach that level of
Oh,
production in early 2000s or something, which is which is I mean it's
it
weird
shows
because
that a managed economy doesn't seem to work, basically, right? Mm.
because uh, taking into account technological progress, the amount of grain that they should be producing in 2000s should be like 10 times as big as in 1914. But they
Right.
only managed to reach the 1914 level of production in early 2000, which is which just a very sort of descriptive of what was
Okay.
happening in the economy. And
Right.
it really sort of um, it confirms my idea that after you switch to socialism, your pie begins to shrink. And the more aggressive socialism you switch into, the quicker the pie begins to shrink with a
Mm.
greater at a greater speed. So
Right, right. But
the idea
at the
is
same time, the alternative, right? America, we can see America as an alternative, the opposite end, right? And now you have a situation where there are these
uh,
videos on. on YouTube that are becoming popular, where these women are saying how you can live on a $10 food budget per week, $10 per week food budget, right, in America, right?
Yeah,
It's
I haven't seen none
ridiculous.
of those. I
Yeah.
mean,
Mm.
probably some people live on that budget, but America is becoming very socialistic right now. Like if you take California, they have a lot of socialistic policies, and they're basically it's socialism in California and in many other states, in many other blue states, uh, which is very alarming.
Well, I want to talk a bit more about that, a bit more like about Mamdani in New York City and America, and yeah, because I didn't see it that way, but maybe we can talk more about that in the next conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's talk about that. Yeah, let's talk about
Mm,
that. And let's talk about
mm.
California, let's talk about New York, let's talk about blue states in America. And
Right.
well, yeah, okay, let's do that
Okay.
next
All
time.
right, man.
Tomorrow. All
Yeah.
right, man.